Have you ever stopped to wonder what might happen if just one of our planet's greatest hunters simply vanished? Imagine a vast, sprawling forest, suddenly silent. The howl of the wolf is gone. The shadow of the eagle no longer sweeps across the valley floor. It might seem peaceful at first, a quieter world. But this quiet is deceptive. It is the silence that comes before a great unraveling, a signal that the delicate balance of nature has been broken. The disappearance of a single top predator is not a small event. It is a profound loss that echoes through every corner of an ecosystem, triggering a chain of events that can change the very landscape itself. So, what exactly is an apex predator? These are the animals that sit at the very top of the food chain. They are the rulers of their domains, with no natural predators of their own once they reach adulthood. Think of the magnificent lion, patrolling the African savanna with its powerful roar and unmatched strength. Consider the gray wolf, moving with intelligence and cooperation through the northern forests. Or picture the saltwater crocodile, an ancient and patient hunter lurking in the waterways of Australia. These creatures are not just symbols of wildness and power. They are the master architects of their environments, shaping life and death for countless other species. These predators are often misunderstood, seen merely as fearsome killers. But their role is far more complex and vital. They are the guardians of health and stability. By hunting, they do not simply take life. They give life to the ecosystem as a whole. They often target the old, the sick, or the weak among prey populations. This difficult truth ensures that the herds of herbivores remain strong and healthy, preventing the spread of disease. It is a natural culling process, a form of quality control that has been perfected over millions of years of evolution, ensuring the entire system thrives and endures through time. Without these apex hunters, the world would be a profoundly different place. They are not villains in nature's grand story. They are essential characters, the protagonists of balance. Their presence ensures that no single group of animals can dominate and overwhelm the resources available. They are the force that maintains order, the living embodiment of nature's intricate and interconnected web. To lose them is to pull a critical thread from this web, risking the collapse of the entire structure. The throne at the top of the food chain cannot remain empty without severe and lasting consequences for all life below. The primary role of an apex predator is to act as a regulator, a natural check on the populations of the animals they hunt. In a healthy ecosystem, a delicate dance exists between predator and prey. The number of hunters is limited by the amount of food available, and the number of prey animals is kept in check by the presence of those hunters. This relationship creates a state of equilibrium, where the environment can support all the life within it. When wolves hunt deer, for example, they prevent the deer population from growing so large that it consumes all the available vegetation. This is nature's way of ensuring sustainability for everyone. When an apex predator is removed from this equation, the results are swift and dramatic. The prey animals, now free from their primary threat, begin to multiply without control. A deer or elk population, once kept at a manageable size by a pack of wolves, can explode in just a few short years. These herbivores are voracious eaters, and their suddenly massive numbers place an incredible strain on the local plant life. They graze relentlessly, stripping young saplings, shrubs, and grasses down to the bare earth. What was once a lush green landscape can quickly become a barren and degraded wasteland. This overgrazing is the first step in a devastating process known as a trophic cascade. The term describes how an impact at the top of the food chain, the removal of a predator, can flow all the way down to the very bottom, affecting the plants and even the physical landscape. For instance, in Yellowstone National Park, the absence of wolves for many decades led to an overpopulation of elk. These elk congregated along rivers, eating the young willow and aspen trees. Without these trees to hold the soil in place, the riverbanks began to erode, changing the very course of the rivers themselves. The loss of vegetation has further consequences that ripple outwards. The plants that are eaten into oblivion are not just food for herbivores. They are also homes and sources of nourishment for countless other creatures. Songbirds that once nested in the willow thickets find they have nowhere to raise their young. Beavers, which rely on aspen and willow to build their dams, can no longer find the materials they need. The disappearance of these smaller creatures, in turn, affects the animals that might have preyed on them. The ecosystem slowly but surely begins to unravel, all because its chief regulator has gone. The chain reaction started by the loss of an apex predator does not stop with plants and herbivores. It continues to cascade through the entire food web, affecting a surprising variety of species in unexpected ways. When beavers can no longer build their dams due to the lack of trees, the ponds and wetlands they create disappear. These wetlands are crucial habitats for a multitude of life forms, from amphibians like frogs and salamanders to fish and aquatic insects. Waterfowl that rely on these ponds for nesting and feeding must move on or perish. The ecosystem loses its diversity and its resilience, becoming a simpler and much more fragile place. This simplification of the food web creates instability. In a diverse ecosystem, if one food source becomes scarce, predators can often switch to another. But as species disappear, these options narrow. The system becomes brittle. Furthermore, the absence of a top predator can allow smaller, mid-level predators, often called mesopredators, to thrive unchecked. For example, without wolves to keep them in check, coyote populations can surge. These coyotes, in turn, can have a devastating impact on smaller animals like foxes, rabbits, and ground-nesting birds, disrupting yet another layer of the ecosystem. The effects can even be felt by scavengers. Apex predators are, in many ways, surprisingly generous. The carcasses they leave behind after a kill provide a vital source of food for a whole community of other animals, from bears and eagles to vultures and beetles. A single wolf-killed elk can feed dozens of different species for days or even weeks, especially during the harsh winter months when food is scarce. When the top predators are gone, this reliable source of carrion vanishes. This can lead to starvation and population decline among scavenger species that depend on these leftovers for their survival. Ultimately, the entire character of the habitat is altered. The loss of trees and shrubs leads to less shade, which can raise water temperatures in streams, harming sensitive fish species. The erosion of riverbanks sends silt into the waterways, clouding the water and smothering the gravel beds where fish lay their eggs. The beautiful, complex, and vibrant tapestry of life, woven together over millennia, starts to fray at the edges. Each lost thread weakens the whole, making the ecosystem less able to withstand other pressures like drought, disease, or climate change. The silent forest is no longer a healthy one. It is easy for us to think of these ecological dramas as something separate from our own lives, a story playing out in the distant wilderness. But this is a dangerous illusion. The health of these natural systems is directly linked to our own well-being. The consequences of a broken food chain inevitably spill out of the forests and savannas and into our fields, our farms, and our communities. When an ecosystem is out of balance, we humans feel the effects, whether we recognize the cause or not. The problems of the wild world quickly become our problems too. For example, when herbivore populations explode due to a lack of predators, they do not confine their grazing to wildlands. A massive herd of deer or wild boar will inevitably seek food wherever it can be found, and that often means wandering into agricultural areas. Farmers can suffer devastating losses as these hungry animals consume entire fields of crops, costing millions of dollars in damages and threatening food security. Similarly, ranchers may experience an increase in livestock losses, not from the apex predators they may have feared, but from the desperate and starving herbivores or the now abundant mesopredators that turn to sheep or calves for an easy meal. Furthermore, an unbalanced ecosystem can lead to an increase in pests and the spread of disease. Many of the small mammals that thrive in the absence of their predators, such as mice and rats, are carriers of diseases that can be transmitted to humans. Ticks, which carry illnesses like Lyme disease, also flourish when their primary hosts, such as deer, become overabundant. The natural regulation provided by predators helps to control the populations of these disease vectors, acting as a public health service for the entire landscape, including the people who live within it. When that service is removed, we become more vulnerable. This brings us to a simple, powerful truth. Protecting apex predators is an act of self-preservation. These magnificent animals are not a luxury we can afford to lose. They are a necessity for a healthy planet and a stable human society. They are the guardians of the forests that clean our air and the rivers that provide our water. By respecting their place in the natural world and working to ensure their survival, we are not just saving a species, we are investing in the health of our own home. We must learn to see the wolf, the shark, and the tiger not as adversaries, but as essential partners in maintaining the balance upon which we all depend.
Promise that you'll catch me.